What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike. Welcome, like I said. Today, we're going to be going over a video this is a video that I'm a couple days late on, I understand, but we're going to be going over the 12 films that I watched in April 2025 that were released in 2025. So, like I said, released in 2025, I watched some of these movies that came out in previous months, just this past month, and that's going to be included in the ranking. So, like I said, I saw 12 films, and this is honestly a pretty good month for movies. You had a movie that I did a short review on. I kind of wish I could have done like a full review on it, but it is genuinely a fantastic film, like one of the best films I've seen in years. And then you also have just like a mediocre set of movies where like this wasn't necessarily a bad month for movies. Honestly, it was just like a pretty solid set of films that I ended up seeing. So let's get into number 12 on my ranking. So number 12 for me is going to be the latest video game adaptation, Until Dawn. So this is one that I played the game for a couple months back in preparation for the movie, and I actually really enjoyed the game. I think it's pretty fun. Kind of just like this sort of interactive game where you're almost like watching just like an interactive movie, and it's very cool. It's got some really cool lore, cool ideas going into it, and the movie adaptation, as soon as I saw the trailer and heard the concept, I was a little thrown off. I'm not gonna lie. So basically, this is taking the ideas of the lore with like these Wendigos, and there's like certain Easter eggs from the games that are thrown into this movie that make it kind of cool, and also the practical effects, the creature designs looks really cool. On the other hand, this movie also takes absolutely nothing from the story of the game in terms of the characters, the character development, the setting, even just absolutely nothing from the game. And you're basically just taking these dumb characters that have terrible writing, a lame story where it's kind of just like breaking the curse, like a Groundhog Day scenario that has like nothing to do with the game at all. And it just kind of disappointed me in that way. And the script, I can't lie, was really not great. The characters were super forgettable. But like I said, I did really enjoy the effects, the creature design, and it's just there's some things in it that were really neat. There's some good gore in it as well. I, as a horror movie, I could see why people would like it, but I just didn't really enjoy it as a video game fan, specifically of the game itself. So it comes in last place for me on this ranking. Next up, number 11, we have a movie that I just thought was kind of generic, honestly, and it is The Amateur, starring Rami Malek. Now, this one, I went in looking forward to just like a simple revenge thriller action movie, and honestly, that's kind of what we got with this one, but it definitely leans more into the thriller aspects of the story. So this one follows Rami Malek's character, whose wife is killed in a terrorist attack, and he's a tech operative in the CIA. So when the CIA doesn't do anything about this terrorist attack, he thinks to take it upon himself and go take out the guys who killed his wife. And it sounds like a fun movie. In execution, though, it's just kind of boring and doesn't really have that great of writing. Feels like there was a lot that was just kind of like cut out, but there was like too much in the movie at the same time, where it's like a 2 hour, 15-minute long movie, so like a decent length for a film. And it feels like there was like just stuff that they left out on like the editing table. Like it was just such a weird film where it feels like there's too much of certain things and too little of certain things, where you have these villains who, like, probably the biggest issue with the film, these villains that just like pop up for a little bit in the film, and then the very next scene they're taken out by Rami Malek. Like, it doesn't really make sense why you would set up these villains to take revenge on and not have any sort of like background with them, any sort of like interaction with the main character and these villains at all. it's just kind of a waste, honestly. So unfortunately, I have to put this one in 11th place. Not particularly great, not particularly bad though. It's just average, enjoyable, but could have been a lot more. Now, coming in at number 10 for me is the new A24 film that just came out 2 weeks ago now, called The Legend of Ochi. Now, this is a film that has a very similar concept to something like E.T. the Extraterrestrial, where there's this little creature who is with his tribe of family, like his, animal tribe, and basically these humans on this island are like they believe that these creatures are like the devil, and they go and hunt after his little tribe, and he gets separated from them, and a young girl from the people on the island find this creature and try to take it back to its family. Pretty generic story right there, just kind of generic. Honestly though, I will say the direction, the cinematography, the production design for this film was fantastic, and I loved that Willem Dafoe was in this film. He's great in everything. So any movie with him, I'll honestly just go watch just because he's there. And he probably picks up the film, because I don't know a single bad movie with Willem Dafoe in it. Like if you guys know any, let me know down in the comments, because I genuinely don't. But yeah, this movie is just pretty generic on a story front. It's not. It doesn't really have like too many memorable characters, like great writing by any means, but it was cute, it was charming, nothing special. Coming in at number 9, the movie that set the world on fire, specifically in the theater department and cinema in general, is a Minecraft movie. Now, this is a weird movie to talk about, because on one hand, it's a pretty fun film. If you just look at it from face value, adapting of like one of the most popular video games of all time. If I remember right, it is like the best-selling video game of all time in Minecraft. This movie is actually kind of fun. Adapts the game pretty well, and Jack Black is fun as always. And from the critics' standpoint, this movie is pretty awful. Okay, the writing is pretty atrocious. The the green screen effects with the humans in the CGI environment, it doesn't look right at all. But you know what? I had a damn fun time. I saw this with a couple of my friends, and we all had a really fun time watching it. We laughed our asses off. It was goofy. It wasn't great. But you know what? I had a lot of fun with it, so it comes in at number 9 for me. And I will say, as a theater worker, I work at a movie theater, just, if you go see this movie, don't go freaking nuts like half these people are, like bringing in a live chicken, like bringing fireworks to see this movie. Just like, what? I don't get it, man. It's just, why do the people have to ruin these kinds of movies for people? I get, having fun, like an Endgame type of crowd, where it's like, just like interacting with the movie, like cheering at the hype moments. But don't ruin it for so many other people, like just like throwing popcorn and stuff like that just to get attention. Like it's not funny. That stuff's not funny. So yeah, unfortunately, there's that, but I did enjoy the movie. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Drop. And this is a new film from Christopher Landon, which this is a movie that I really was not looking forward to. I thought the trailer looked horrendous, and this movie had the trailer playing everywhere that I went. You go on YouTube, it's playing. You go to the theater. Pretty much every trip to the theater that I saw, like a PG-13 movie or above, played this stupid-ass trailer, and it looked awful to me. And then I heard some early buzz about it. It premiered at South by Southwest, and also I believe it was at the Overlook Film Festival. And people were saying it was actually really, really fun. So I was looking forward to it. I'm a Christopher Landon fan. I actually didn't even know he was behind this movie until the reviews from South by Southwest came out. And honestly, it was pretty fun. There's a lot of bits in the movie where you have to strain credibility, but as a film, you know, as just a fun little thriller, it provided a lot of fun to me. I don't know. It wasn't great, but it wasn't like bad at all. Like I was thinking it was. It was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, a lot of great performances. You have a really intense concept, and it just flows by really fast with this kinds of movie. You know, it's like 90 minutes, if that. Um, it's just really fun. It's just the third act, and a lot of the movie in general, honestly, just strains so much credibility. Where it's just like, why is this guy still at this date when this chick is going nuts? Like, there's so many red flags right there that I would have just left. Like at that point, man, I don't know. It was fun, not amazing though. Coming in at number 7, we have The Accountant 2. Now, this is a movie that's been in production for, I believe, like 9 years now. So it's been like, yeah, it's been almost a decade since the first movie came out. So the first one, kind of just like a fun little action thriller with this concept of this guy who is severely autistic, but is also an assassin. And Ben Affleck plays the character, and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of generic, but I have a good time with it. So I was kind of looking forward to this one. The trailers looked good. It premiered at South by Southwest, had really good reviews, and I went in kind of just expecting a little like buddy cop kind of aspect to it, with John Bernthal now being added into the mix, and I got that. It wasn't amazing. It had the same problems as the first film, where the villain just like isn't interesting at all, poorly written, and the story just kind of generic. But when you have Ben Affleck and John Bernthal going off of each other, like it just works. It works. So I really enjoyed Accountant 2. I get if someone doesn't, just because it's kind of generic, kind of has the same problem with The Amateur, except this one just provided more fun. So that just gives it the extra boost right there. Coming in at number 6, this is actually a last minute change from my ranking, but coming in at number 6 for me is Havoc, the new Tom Hardy action thriller on Netflix, directed by the guy who made the Raid films, which is some of the best action movies to come out probably ever, in terms of, you know, fight choreography, just like a simple contained stories like in these two films. And Havoc is arguably a bigger film, but this has also been in production since like 2021, I want to say. And so this is, you know, it's been on my radar for a little while, and I've been looking forward to it because I watched The Raid a couple years back, and The Raid 2 obviously, and I really enjoyed them. I loved the first one, at least. The second one, really good, not as good as the first one. Just like it felt like it was a little bit too big compared to the first one, where it's just kind of like a simple like climbing the tower kind of action flick, kind of like that, like Dread, like stuff like that. And this was one that, like I said, I was looking forward to. Had a cool trailer, had some good action in the trailer at least, and I didn't love it, but I certainly had a good time with it. Where Tom Hardy is kind of just like playing the generic crooked cop investigating other like even more crooked cops, and it ends up going into some insane places about halfway through, where you have this really, really cool little bar action scene, and from there it just like doesn't ever stop, doesn't ever like flatline at all. It just kind of just like keeps going up from there. First act is a little bit boring, not very interesting characters outside of you know, Tom Hardy and Timothy Olyphant's in there. And yeah, like I said, they're great. The action's great, as expected from this director. I mean, Gareth Evans, he's like one of the top dogs in action directing just from the Raid films. And now Havoc is on there just for the action. Script department could have used definitely some more adjustments, but it's a fun movie. I really enjoyed it just as an action thriller, so it comes in at number 6 for me. Number 5 is, like I said, it's just kind of like a last-minute swap with this one and Havoc, but for me, Locked, the new Bill Skarsgård little thriller. was a really, really damn good movie. This is one where this guy, he breaks into this car. It's like super high tech, and he's trying to steal it. And this guy locks him in the car, as the title would suggest, and he can't escape. So basically, this guy is just like stuck in a car for 90 minutes. And while that doesn't sound like an amazing movie, the trailer didn't look bad. I went into this just knowing like some first reactions, saying it was actually pretty good, and I ended up really, really liking it. It's very intense. There's some scenes where I was like actually like on the edge of my seat watching, and Bill Skarsgård is like one of the best actors working right now. He has such range, like such amazing range, where he can be funny. He can have a lot of like really awesome action sequences. Does really well with choreography, but he can also be extremely creepy, as you know, It and Nosferatu would show for him. And honestly, this just like even shows more uh like more range for him, where he can be a really good dramatic actor. He's just a fantastic actor all around, and I really love what he's been doing. The first like 40-ish minutes are a little slow, but once it gets going, it just like doesn't stop, and it saves the movie on. Well, I don't know about like saves the movie, but it like makes the movie all that much better. So, honestly, I really enjoyed this movie. This one and Havoc could like swap back and forth. Honestly, I really enjoyed both of them a lot. But this one for right now is going at number 5 for me. Number 4 is a movie that I know a lot of people really didn't care for, but I ended up actually really, really enjoying it, and it is Hell of a Summer, directed by Billy Brick and Finn Wolfhard, who were in the latest Ghostbusters movies. And honestly, I know a lot of people really didn't care for this one, and I completely understand why some people wouldn't. But I had a lot of fun with it. I loved the vibes that it gave, just like the summer camp kind of vibes. And Fred Hetchinger is in this one as well, and I really, really enjoy what he's been doing lately. You know, he had Gladiator 2 a while back. He's been in a ton of stuff, and I think he's a really great actor. And then, of course, you know, Finn Wolfhard, Billy Brick are in this one. They directed the film, and they just, like, there's this sort of, like, camaraderie with this group of camp counselors that are at this camp. And, well, yeah, it's kind of just like a generic slasher story. There's a lot of stuff that they're, like, poking fun at with this, and it was funny. It was funny to me. I don't know. There was some moments where it's just like, okay, why are we stopping to do this? What? Yada, yada, yada. Okay. But for like an 86-minute movie, it actually wasn't too bad. I really enjoyed it, honestly. I would watch it again. So, honestly, of these movies on here, this is probably the one that I would rewatch first. Maybe besides, like, my top spot, or, like, the one that's just above this. But I had a lot of fun with Hell of a Summer. So, yeah, it comes in at number 4 for me. Coming in at number 3 is a movie that was just kind of buried by the studio, unfortunately, and that is Looney Tunes: The Day the Earth Blew Up. Now, this is one that I really wasn't expecting a whole lot. The trailer didn't look that good to me, and I know this is the same studio that's supposed to be putting out Coyote vs. Acme now, so I really wasn't looking forward to this movie, honestly. And then I heard the reviews saying this is actually a really damn good movie, and I finally watched it, and I honestly loved it. It was just a perfect amount of fun comedy where you have, you know, of course, the classic Looney Tunes characters, Porky Pig, Daffy Duck in this one, and it just provides a ton of fun where you have, like, an alien aspect to it, and it's kind of like these aliens are putting something in this chewing gum that turns people into, like, zombies, kind of. And it was just fun. It was just really, really fun watching, you know, Daffy Duck and Porky Pig kind of just, like, solve the mystery of what's going on with this bubble gum. So I had a lot of fun with it. It's not, like, amazing, but it's just a ton of fun to me. So yeah, it comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, which was actually my favorite movie of the year for a solid week, is Warfare. This is the new film directed by Alex Garland, and is also directed co-directed by a veteran who actually, this is the main character of the film, is him. So basically, this film follows true events. This movie is also just like based off of complete memory from him. So this follows the memories that this guy has of this house raid that he and his platoon were in Iraq in 2006. So you kind of just like start off, the opening scene is this platoon like circled around a TV, and it is like the best way to set up that they are like they have they're family. They're family to each other. And throughout the film, you have just like the goofy interactions with the guys, like the first like half of the film or so. And then you have these goofy interactions with these guys who are like they're waiting in this house to wait and see if something will strike. And then it just like starts getting intense, like really really intense, about like the half hour 45-minute mark, and it just not let up at all. There's so many scenes where I was on the edge of my seat. I think this probably has like the best jump scare I've ever seen in a film, and it's not even like remotely like, you know, like a horror movie-esque. It's just like an explosion that I was not expecting at all. And it just works. All of it just, it worked for me. Amazing performances across the board. Great writing, of course, you know, showing camaraderie with these soldiers that we're getting to know for the first half of the movie, and then whatever happens in the second half, I'm not going to spoil it because I want you guys to go watch this movie. It's just an all-around fantastic movie to me. I loved it. One of the best war movies to come out in recent years, and it's just another one of these movies that just reminds me why I don't want to be in the military. Not to mention as well, this movie has some incredible sound design, and I hope this wins best sound design at the Oscars, because if this doesn't even get nominated, which it probably won't because it's an A24 movie, it's going to be a real shame. It's going to be a real shame, and I'm going to riot. But coming in at number one, and I'm guessing it's most people's number one, I'm a huge horror fan. I'm a huge vampire fan. Sinners is my number one, and one of my new favorite films that I've ever watched. You have this basic concept. These gangsters steal some money from this gang up in Chicago, go down to New Orleans, and open their own bar. And the opening night of this bar, a group of vampires comes down and descends on this bar. So basically, you have Michael B. Jordan, who's playing twins in this film, and he probably gives a career best performance in this, because he plays two very different characters. One is just kind of like a jokester, the other's like deadpan serious, and just they play off of each other. Like, he plays off of himself so well. Like, just interacting with his twin, his mirror image, was great. It just works. Right there. Like, just the basic concept of him playing twins works for me right there. Then you have like the music side of things, where this is kind of just like a celebration of blues music while also being a horror movie. It was awesome. Like, it has the perfect blend of everything in there, where you have this bit of the movie where you have this song that like is playing, and it's just like a blend of a bunch of different cultures, and it's great. It's so good. It's like borderline a musical too, because there's so many scenes where they just like bust out into song, and it's just awesome. It's awesome. I loved it from start to finish. There was not a single moment I was bored, not a single moment I disliked, not an aspect of this movie that didn't work for me. It just all worked. So it comes in at number one easily, and is my favorite film of the year thus far. Probably won't be beaten. So there you guys go. That's my ranking of all 12 films that I've watched in April 2025. All the new releases that I watched, at least. And let me know what movies you guys watched down below in the comments section, and let me know your ranking of those movies. And yeah, if you guys like the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, or any past videos of mine that are kind of like this. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, like I said, hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time.